I'm like, what the hell is what? Just gotta turn around, dummy.
Platform 3 and 4 are warming up for bench.
And we are here, let's talk sports on the air. Scott Bulls. Saturday morning, and if you are seeing us right now, you're probably seeing us online, obviously, and
Yes.
we're not in our normal location.
No, a little bit different background and a little different foreground here as well.
Should have put a banner behind. No, I guess we don't have enough. I thought it was higher. So
Oh, yeah.
Nonetheless, yes, we are here. Let's talk sports, coming at you live from Millington High School this morning, I should say, as bright and early. Weightlifters are out and doing a lot more than I'll ever do this early in the morning. As weightlifting competition, and this is a huge one. This is a big one that they have every year, and just by pictures I've seen, I've been to it. This is the first time I've seen it in person, but there's a huge turnout for this every single year.
There is a huge turnout for this every year. This is the largest fundraiser for the Millington football program that they run throughout the year. And this will fund, their team camp when they go to a team camp during the fall season, and work on getting T-shirts for the kids, shorts, everything for practice shorts, things like that. And usually there's about 500 lifters here during each event. This year it's down just a little bit, just 77 girls lifters and just over 150 boys lifters, but still a good turnout. There's always, like I said, a ton of people here, and the girls have started already this morning at 9 o'clock. Everyone's finished their squats, and the girls are into their bench presses right now, and after that they'll be in their deadlifts, and they'll get their awards from the award ceremony, and the boys will be starting after that.
There you go, and we were talking off the air. Luke, who does our video work here, said that half these girls are stronger than him, maybe 3/4. I said all these girls are stronger than me. I won't lie. These girls would destroy me.
That is very, very true.
But learning a lot here with the weightlifting going on. But we are, again, bringing you Let's Talk Sports, coming at you live from Millington High School and Cardinal Country here. And it's definitely a little bit different. We haven't done video. We've done audio live on location a couple different places, but the first time we've done video to do that. So
well, so far so good. Looking at it on Facebook, we look pretty good.
There you go. Look at that. Look at that.
I know.
We're ESPN naturals here, but
hey, they're always looking for people.
They should be, that's for sure. Nonetheless, we did have some big games last night that were around the area, and that was about it for the week. There wasn't much else to write home about.
What did I count? There was 8 boys games last night in the Thumb area and 4 girls games.
Yeah, so not much to talk about, but we will be talking about a little high school sports going on, and I don't know if we'll get any final results while we're here as far as the weightlifting goes. Can we have any shout-outs to anybody while we're here? Do you think we'll get any final results for the girls?
We may. I don't know. It depends on how quickly the bench goes, and probably not any final results, but...
we'll send Luke down there, tell him to hurry it up then.
Exactly.
I won't be doing that. Nonetheless, we did have our games of the week last night as we had the Elton Pigeon Bayport Lakers taking on the Carroll Tigers. And not a good night for the Carroll Tigers, I will tell you that.
Doubleheader loss.
Doubleheader loss at your home gymnasium. I mean, you normally see a split most of the time, but this year I've seen 2 of them happen, doubleheader. We saw the one Millington here with Standish Sterling was a doubleheader loss as well. So I'm bad luck as far as doubleheaders go. So if you have one coming up, don't call us, that's for sure. But nonetheless, a big win last night for the Elton Pigeon Bayport Laker girls, who definitely needed that win as they've had a pretty rough season. on the girls' side of things, on both sides of the ball for boys and girls. And Carroll's been playing better basketball in the 2019 calendar year, but the Lakers, and I thought it was funny because I brought up last night, I'm like, the Lakers are the kryptonite to the Carroll Tigers this year. Funny because they're green.
Yes.
So a little bit of nerd humor there for you. Nonetheless, it was a big night for the Lakers. We'll start off on the girls' side as the Lakers got a 39-35 win over the Carroll Tigers, who were on a 4-game winning streak before heading into this game. They did miss a game against Brown City earlier this week, so they hadn't touched the ball really, or even got into the gymnasium or had anything going for, I believe, over a week. I don't think they played last Friday. So
that's the one surprise me. I know I played last Friday, and we were not allowed to have any practices this week. And we played last night, and he said we had a small open gym on Sunday where I had 3 or 4 girls show up last Sunday, and that was it. They had no one touching the ball in a week, and you could tell as well. And I would imagine you could tell in Carroll.
Yeah, it definitely catches up to you as Carroll last night going 12 of 31 from the floor, just 1 of 5 from beyond the arc, and 8 of 22 from the charity stripe. You're not going to win too many games when you're shooting like that.
No, not at all.
And they did lose 39-35, so just 4 points and a lot of points left on the floor. So could have been a different game for the Carroll Tigers had they made some of those shots. Coach Jay Riley after the game, and he said, it's just, you got to make those shots. You leave a lot of points on the floor by doing that.
Well, not only that, but you got to get up more shots than just the 31 shots. And Lakers, I know, tried to slow it down, and after playing both teams, tried to slow it down just a little bit more pace, and we played a little bit quicker pace with them, got a few more shots. Same outcome as well, though, a loss against the Lakers. But I'm not really surprised by that score, just because I know Lakers does like to slow down. But yeah, obviously you need to shoot better, but you need to get up some more shots as well.
And that was the thing last night with the Tigers, is that they cycled the ball a lot around the perimeter because they couldn't get anything down low. The Lakers were shutting it down. They had a 3-2 zone going on and just completely taking away anything down low that the Tigers had. And we know that they do have Caitlin Arbello down low that can shoot the ball, and she only ended up last night. She had 9 points, 9 boards, but that's not a bad night. But with a 35-point score, but you definitely probably hoping more out of her.
Yeah, because you'd like to see in the 12 to 15 range from her in a game like that.
Absolutely. And I was looking at, let me bring up my pregame from last night between the two squads. I thought it was kind of an interesting stat here for the Carroll Tigers before they went on their little roll there, as they were on a 3-game skid, just scoring 27 points per game, and then they picked up 4 wins in a row where they averaged 48 points per game. Mm-hmm. So that's a nice turnaround for the Carroll Tigers, and then they get shut down last night to 35 points by the Lakers.
Huge difference.
And your leading scorer, Ellie Hornbacher, averaging 10.3, and right around that area last night, she had 9.7 boards that we do have. Again, unofficial results via Chris Wilcox. But big night for Greta Van Elston. That's not really her name, it's Greta Elston, but I added the Van all night long.
You have to.
It was a joke I started off with. I'm like, Greta Van Elston, I'm going to go with it. And then by the end of the night, Chris is correcting me. He's like, it's just Greta Elston for everybody out there. Scotty's adding the Van for whatever reason. I'm like, I can't help it now. So then I started playing Greta Van Fleet and just turned into an entire dedication to them. But Greta Elston, 10 points. She found her sweet spot. She had a little spot there along the baseline. About a 10-footer there, but she would just get the ball and pop it up and was able to sink it time after time. And they just could not stop her in that position. She'd get that open look and she'd take the shot. She knew exactly where her sweet spot was, and she kept taking it. So she took advantage of it when she got the opportunity, and she ended up with 10 points last night. She was the only double-digit scorer for the Lakers, but that's all they needed, as Abby Schutte went 9 points. She did follow out late in the game in the fourth, and that's kind of a different look for the Carroll Tigers last night after Abby Schutte went out. But it just was a little bit too little too late for the Tigers.
Abby Schutte is a very good ball player. She really caused us some troubles behind the arc when we played them. The Lakers shot really well outside the arc, but she's a good ball player as well, and Greta, very good ball player as well. So not really surprised, by Lakers winning, but because that's, like I said, that their pace of game. Yeah,
they definitely did what they had to do to get in there and get a win last night. So So now the Lakers moved to 7-6 overall, 5-3 in the conference, and now they leapfrog Carroll for that third place position as Carroll drops to 4-3 in the conference and 7-5 overall. But on pace still for one of their better seasons in quite a while over there for Carroll.
Well, you got to hand it off to Coach Jay Riley. As you said, they have 7 wins now. 7 wins. Yep.
7
wins now, which is the most they've had in a couple of years now. And it was just 2-3 years ago where he had a 1-win, 2-win season is all. And so hats off to him. The girls are playing much better. I know he's had a couple of these girls now going on 3-4 years, which helps tremendously.
Yes.
So they're playing much better.
So Carroll loses the first part of the doubleheader and move on into the boys' side of things, where Carroll may be a slight favorite going into this game as well. I wouldn't take too much away from the Lakers because they do have some pretty good players up there, including Mr. Mason Pasak, and they did start the season off 5-1, and since then have went 1-5.
Yeah,
where they
started off and people were all up on them, saying maybe one of the best teams in the Thumb area, and I had seen them play against Millington, and thought that they were a decent squad, not quite as good as what they were last year. Millington handled them quite hatedly at that point.
Yeah.
Just kind of thought maybe, okay, it's just one of those things that happen. But yeah, they've struggled since that loss.
Yeah, they have, and they have not been able to get the gears rolling in the right direction, as they were second to last in the Greater Thumb West, but move up a little bit last night with the victory. They knocked off Carroll 60-49 in another game where Carroll started turning it on late, and it was again too little too late for the Tigers. Trevin Phillips, so I guess kind of the big story for him was that they held him scoreless until the second half last night. So that's big for the Lakers to do. If you can hold Trevin Phillips scoreless, he's been averaging a double-double this season. I mean, that's a big deal for them. And he ended up on the night with 7 points, 11 boards. So he did his job on the rebounding side of things, but he was not there on the scoring side. Carroll did fall back on Caleb Cotton, the first-year varsity player, the senior. He's been doing a pretty good job here for the Carroll Tigers this year, stepping up in a big way for them and helping out senior leadership. And seen a couple of plays last night. He looked quicker than everybody else out there. And I said that's kind of what cross-country would do to you. He's got those quick feet.
Very much so. And, it's too bad that this is his first year.
Yeah.
I remember when Derek was here, Derek coached him in junior high, and he was a very good ball player in junior high.
Yeah, he was.
So definitely someone Carroll could have used. He also could have used, Yami this year as well.
Yami's in every game in the stands. He's wanting to get back out there.
Exactly, but and so they played well. And just the Lakers, they're going to snap out of it at some point.
Yeah, and last night Andrew Siegfried, kind of the unsung hero, he was there, and it was kind of a quiet night, but he had 17 points, very quiet 17. He wasn't one of the ones we paid attention to. Mason Pasak was the one we kind of paid attention to, as he hit 2 from downtown back-to-back, as he had 12 points. Andrew Siegfried, 17 points, 11 boards, so a double-double for him last night. And Anthony Sheridan, we had him 10 and 9. I guess we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. We'll give him that 10th rebound, but for a double-double too. But still a very impressive night for Coach Wisner and the out-division Bayport Lakers. Looking at their stats last night, they went 24 of 33 from the field. That's a pretty good night for
yes,
them.
Yes, it is.
20 of 28 from the field, 4 or 5 from the three-point line. So if you can hit 4 or 5 from downtown, that's going to help you out quite a bit as well. On the Carroll side of things, they shot 50% downtown, 5 of 10, and then from the field just 11 of 20, 12 of 18 from the free throw line for Carroll, and 8 of 14 from the free throw line for the Lakers. So just a good performance last night. They did what they had to do. They shut down Trevin Phillips in the first half. That was a big deal. I didn't even realize it until Chris said he has been scoreless through the first half. I couldn't believe it, but that's what happened. He had a quick interview with Coach Dubes. I couldn't hear what he was saying, so I don't know what the interview was like. Chris isn't here to tell us what the interview was, but I know he did get to talk to Coach Dubes between our games last night. So
did he not record it?
He recorded it. I just haven't listened to it yet.
Oh, okay.
So we got the recording of it, but I can't. I give him the headset, so I'm off to the side working on some other stuff, and he's doing the interview. So I don't know exactly what the interview was about, but He said it was a very good interview, so we'll give Coach Deuce and his girlfriend or fiance or whatever she was very polite to us yesterday.
Yes.
Set up her camera next to us, and Chris said, "Whatever we say can't be held against us, just so you know." So she goes, "No, you're fine." We were pretty good though, pretty nice to him as on the Lakers side. Coach Wisner though, he has taken over this Lakers squad last year. Brendan Wisner's son was on the squad, kind of the leader there on the senior side. And a couple years ago, Brennan told us to watch out for this Mason Paysek kid. He's a very good ball player, tall kid. He's a senior this year. So I think seeing more from him down the stretch will be huge for this Lakers squad as they try to get their way back up into the Greater Thumb West and try to pick up some more wins. But definitely in the right direction. Last night against the Carroll Tigers, they knocked them off 60-49, completing the sweep in the doubleheader. Again, the girls knock off Carroll 39-35, and then the boys knock them off 60-49. So
Lakers went on a 19-2 run in the second quarter.
yes, they stopped Carroll to just 2 points in the second quarter. That's a huge deal as well. Carroll was able to outscore them 17-13 in the third quarter. Also in the first quarter, they were up 14-10 heading in the second, and that's where the run came for the Lakers. And then finally in the fourth quarter is where the Lakers finally were able to seal it up. Thing is Lakers had a little bit of trouble from the free throw line last night. They you could definitely tell. We kind of mentioned on the air, Coach Wisner got into the surrender Cobra mode because he was a little worried towards the end there. But then they were able to finally sink a free throw and kind of pull ahead a little bit more than what Carroll was comfortable with, and you could definitely tell the weight kind of lifted off Coach Wisner a little bit. We kind of mentioned that, but it was definitely both games are very interesting. But kudos to the Lakers coming into town and doing what they had to do and pick up 2 wins against this Carroll Tigers squad. So that was our game of the week last night. Again, Lakers now moves in the boys side of things 2-5 overall, 7-6 overall, 2-5 in the conference. Carroll drops to 3-4 in the conference and to 5-8 overall.
So I think Lakers is off now until Wednesday when the host will play at least. And I forget the Carroll schedule off. I don't have it in front of me.
I have. Let me bring this up real quick here. I'm working everything off the computer here.
Because I haven't seen any of the makeups, so I don't know if they have any makeups.
Yeah, they do. They do. I think they play Reese this week. I think they have like a full slate of games this week. Let me bring this up real quick, and I'll definitely let you know here in a second. This is a lot easier to do when we're at the actual studio. So bear with me real quick. Steve, there it is. Coach Clark said that they host Brown City on Wednesday night.
So they're off to Wednesday spot.
And speaking of Brown City, real quick, just a little bit of a preview. Brown City falls again last night to K-Pac, but we'll get to that in just a little bit. Kind of a rough last week for the Brown City Green Devils, and just that makes it even more interesting. So we'll get to that in just a second. We're going to come back as we got more Let's Talk Sports on the way here for you. So stick around. It is Let's Talk Sports right here, Classic Rock on 92, brought to you by Air Advantage. So that's our mic right there.
Oh, okay.
Platform 1 will be warming up for deadlift soon.
We are back. Let's talk sports. Classic Rock I-92. Welcome on in. If you are just joining us, well, you can see us / hear us. If you are checking out YouTube, on our YouTube, Christian waving at you there. People staring at you now. They're like, who's this guy waving? We are back, though, as we wrapped up our games of the week last night. Lakers and Carroll. And what do you want to head to next, Christian? Do you want to stay in the Greater Thumb West?
Yeah, let's
wrap it up?
Because there's really not too many games.
No, there weren't.
But actually, I don't know if were there any more games in the West?
There was. Lakers, Vassar, and Reese last night.
And Bad X Sky City as well.
Last night, Vassar falls to Reese 68-35. Dylan Hubbard leading the way for the Vassar Vulcans with 18 points. Gideon Dam and Dylan both had 9 rebounds apiece.
It's actually Dom.
Dom?
Dom, yes.
Sorry.
I graduated with his dad.
Dom. Okay. Sorry about that, Gideon. But we did get
common mistake.
We got a message from Dylan Hubbard last night. Gabe Robinson also dropped 22 for the Rockets. So pretty good rebound back, bounce back game for the Reese Rockets after falling to USA last week, and
really not even falling, getting waxed.
Yeah, it was not a pretty game.
Yes, really quite surprised.
It was a very surprising game. I kind of thought that we'd see a little bit more competition, but it just looked like USA was. I wouldn't say leaps and bounds, but they're definitely a level above pretty much everybody else in the Thumb area at this point. So. We'll see what happens in the West. They got one more rematch with the BenX Hatchets, the USA Patriots. The USA didn't play last night, I'm guessing?
No, they did not.
Okay.
They did not.
Well, they had a game earlier this week against Valley Lutheran that was hopefully just canceled or postponed, and they can make it up sometime. I haven't heard anything on that, but that would be a big matchup for USA. I'm sure that Coach Gainforth wants to get out there and get that game in, because Valley Lou has a center that's getting some college looks.
Yes, Big Leo, I think his name is. Something like that, yes.
He's a pretty good player. So, the big win last night for the Reese Rockets, knocking off Vassar 68-35. And you had the other game over there, Christian?
Yes, we have Bad X defeated West City last night, 50-39. Let me bring up. I thought I had some stats out here too. Bad X, yeah, it's right here. Yeah, 50-39. Bad X wins that game. Bad X raced out in the first quarter with a 15-8 lead, and then 29-18 at the half. Colby Meeks scored a game-high 13 points to pace the Hatchets, while Cody Talaski added 12. For Cass City, Sandon Cuthbert scored 9, and Colin Rubel had 8 points. And Bad X going to have really no time to rest, as they are hosting Ubley today. And that game is supposed to start at 7 o'clock. And Cass City will actually travel to Vassar on Wednesday. Cass City drops to 6-9 now, 26 overall. Bad X 10-3, 7-1. In my humble opinion, probably the surprise team of the Thumb this year.
Bad X?
Yes.
Yeah, I think Coach Krug's definitely got to get a look for Coach of the Year.
I would think so, definitely so.
For what Bad X has been able to do, but watch out for Cody Talaski as well. He's a freshman. He's a heck of a player, a good young man. Very excited to watch him come up, and another good player, good squad up there for Bad X. So we'll see if they can keep things rolling right along. Again, they have a rematch coming up against USA next month, and we'll see what happens with that. But again, right back at it today, as they take on the Blue Bearcats. As that's going to be a makeup game, as going right back at that. So that is our Greater Thumb West wrap up, right?
Yes, it is.
Anything else over there in the Greater Thumb West?
That was it.
All right, so Greater Thumb East play. We'll jump on right over to the Greater Thumb East last night and kind of talked about the way things get interesting once again for the Greater Thumb East, as Brown City goes into Harbor Beach, I do believe.
I didn't see the score anymore, so I don't have it.
It was Harbor Beach knocking out Brown City 60-43 last night. Brown City is just definitely got caught up in a losing streak right now, and somehow need to get out of this funk, because you can't fall behind the Greater Thumb East. I mean, I guess you could. It's very leveled out over there, but nonetheless, Harbor Beach getting a win. and making things even more interesting in the Greater Thumb East as they knock them off 60-43, leading the way for Brown City. Andrew Geiger, 15 points, 6 rebounds. Killian Pangro, I've never heard that name. 13 points, 6 boards, and Sebastian Blevin, 9 points. Harbor Beach Mason Yan, 20 points. Nathan Seaman with 12 points. So, like I said, making things even more interesting. I don't know what the Greater Thumb East looks like right now for basketball.
Let me pull it up here.
Probably got it faster than I do. But it's definitely one of the more interesting conferences to pay attention to.
It definitely is. The Greater Thumb East boys currently has K-Pac on top of the conference at 6-2, 10-6 overall, which surprise there. Harbor Beach 5-2, Sandusky, Brown City now tied at 4-3, Marlette 3-5, Ubly 2-4, and Memphis bringing up the bottom 1-6, and those are just all conference records.
So K-Pac, we kind of talked about them at the beginning of the season, how they could be the surprise team, and we kind of, I don't want to say laughed it off, but we shrugged it off that K-Pac could win the conference with some of the teams over there, and they're doing their part to win that conference as they go in. Marlette beats Harbor Beach last week. Marlette loses to K-Pac last night. The final on that one was 58-41. K-Pac absolutely doing what they need to do. Trevor Bohr is leading the way once again, 23 points, 13 rebounds. Jordan Helmuth right there with 17 points. Jacob Sawyers with 10 points. And Trevor Bohr was on the Mick McCabe top 100 boys in the state to watch. So not bad when you can get a boy on there, that's for sure. And
K-Pac's just sort of been hot and cold this year. Starting in season 3 and all, they were on a 5-game losing streak, and now they've won 7 of 8. The only game they lost was the Harbor Beach in overtime.
Yeah.
So just real fantastic basketball as of late. So
when do they have that rematch against Harbor Beach coming up? I'm sure.
They play Harbor Beach on February the 20th.
Okay, so
that's in Harbor Beach.
Could come down to that game for the conference. But it's got Sandusky right there, Brown City right there as well. So jumping over to the Marlette side of things from last night's game, once again leading the way for Marlette. Past 2 games, Dallas Heisner, he's had himself a couple of games. The last week at a team high against Harbor Beach. Last night scored 14. Sean Quady with 10 points. And outside of that, 8 going to Peyton Dale. But the surrounding, it's kind of like what Millington was battling with, the surrounding cast. You want somebody else to step up in a big way, and Heisner and Quady have been kind of the names, and you're kind of waiting for a third person to step up that's consistent, that can score with them, and it can help out a lot more Marlette. And they got the talent over there.
Yes.
I just don't know what the problem is, what the issue is, but nonetheless, it is a.
Well, they lost a big part of it.
Yeah, that's very true.
That's huge. You're not going to replace that double every night. So, you're working around it to try to replace it or try to make up for it. And they're probably doing pretty darn good right now for what they lost.
Yeah.
They're right around 5-9. They got a big win over Carroll in OT. They got a big win over Sandusky in overtime as well. Sean Quady is doing what Sean Quady does.
Yep.
It's just, it's tough losing that double from the starting lineup.
Yeah, and then he goes. Don't want to talk too much about out of area, but then get that update a couple weeks ago that he goes off for a double in his debut with the squad. So kudos to him for making the move and whatever he had to do to better himself. But I know Marlette definitely miss him. He's still there. Greater Thumb East, I have to believe, is in the back pocket of Marlette right now. But nonetheless, they are trekking forward. Coach Storm doing what he has to do, and great performances by Sean Quady and Alex Heisner. So doing what they have to do, but falling last night to K-Pac and making the Greater Thumb East that much more interesting. I don't think Sandusky played last night. I didn't see any scores on Twitter. Usually we get an update on the on Twitter.
No, we don't have any Sandusky score at all. Ubly defeated Memphis last night, 53-46. That's the last East score that I have.
Did you have anything on that game?
No, I do not. Well, actually.
Let me check and see if Friends of the Huron Daily Tribune.
Yes, that's what I'm going to check right now. So. They usually do have that stuff, but no, I do not see anything.
Nope. Yeah, it looks like we got a final that's just about it.
Here we go.
You do have something?
Oh, this is Harbor Beach Round City. Never mind. No, we already did this thing.
Yeah, that's the game. Yeah, we covered that game. So Upland Memphis, we don't have anything on that game. But speaking of Greater Thumb East, we'll stay right over there real quick. Shout out to our friend of the show, Miss Kendall Muxlow, taking home the Snow Coming Queen last night. Chris, very unexcited for her last night. I don't know what he said. He said, "Uh-oh, who is it?" And I said, "Miss Kendall Muxlow." And he goes, "Oh." I said, "What?" He goes, "I thought there'd be more build-up." I'm like, "All right, possible future player of the year. What more do you need? College athlete? I don't know."
I don't think it's impossible. I think it's inevitable.
The way she's been playing, and
we talked about it before too with her. The really nice thing about that Brown City squad is now she's scoring and they're winning. Where in years past, if she scored a lot, it didn't necessarily mean a win.
yeah, no.
So they're winning games now, playing a second and third option, which is great for that squad, and she's playing just as well. So maybe last year the injury made the rest of the team better.
Good, yeah.
So maybe it's a little silver lining in the cloud there.
Carly Randolph's been playing some great basketball for Brown City as well this year. As are they 11-1 really? Oh wow, yeah.
Yes.
The only loss came to Kingston this year, 43-30. Brown City sitting at 7-0 as they get that win over Sandusky. So, yeah, I mean, it could be Brown City's year to take the Greater Thumb East. They obviously still have some tough games coming up, and I know Coach Burton over there is going to have them ready as they still have Sandusky on the schedule. They just had their Harbor Beach game postponed as they are going to be having that one made up. Don't know exactly when that's going to be made up, but it will be made up. And that game in Sandusky, and then
the first time they played Sandusky was a 48-43 overtime victory for them. And they just have a one-game lead on Sandusky right now in that Greater Thumb East, and would have to defeat Sandusky now and Sandusky for the outright title, unless Sandusky would happen to fall before, which I don't see happening at this point.
Well, they still play in Harbor Beach, don't they? Sandusky does?
Yes.
So that's a very tough place to play. A very
tough place to play. Harbor Beach playing good basketball too.
Yeah.
The girls side 8-3 overall, 4-2 in third place in the Greater Thumb East.
If you look at it, that Sandusky game is the last conference game for Brown City, so the entire conference could come down to that game. Kind of like the football side with Sandusky and Harbor Beach this year. Harbor Beach was able to knock out Sandusky at the very last conference game of the year, and force them to share it. So we'll see. Still a lot of basketball in front of us as we're moving on into the month of February. March Madness right around the corner. One of the most exciting times of the year. As we are going through here at the Greater Thumb East, Greater Thumb West, and I think we're going to be taking our second time out right now. We'll do so, and we'll come back as we'll start moving on over to the Tri-Valley. Got some NCTL action last night as well. We'll take a little bit more of a look here at the gymnasium at Millington High School, as once again having the weightlifting competition going on over here this morning. So very exciting times here. Very busy gymnasium as people are starting to roll on in and get things going here. So we will come back as we're going to start wrapping up again more Tri-Valley NCTL action, and we'll get things rocking and rolling here for you. Again, it is Let's Talk Sports, brought to you by Air Advantage, Classic Rock out, and you stick around.
If they're successful in it, then that's good. And they can sort of see where everyone's at.
And we are back. Let's talk sports here at Classic Rock I-92. Scott Wolsby alongside Christian Zalick as we're coming at you live from Millington High School. Competition going on, big weightlifting competition as people are rolling on in. So if you're around the Millington area and you're into weightlifting, definitely the place to be today.
Oh, definitely so. I said over almost just about around 100 girls or so, almost 200 boys will be lifting today for a regional championship. You know, if they place at this tournament, first, second, or third, then they automatically qualify for the state meet later in the year. So this is one of the regional qualifying tournaments and a big fundraiser for Millington football program as well.
That definitely helps out quite a bit. You can help out with another sport while enjoying another sport.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
they go hand in hand and help each other out here in Millington. And speaking of Millington, we'll just jump right over to the Tri-Valley East last night, as we did have a doubleheader, right, last night as well.
Yes, there was a doubleheader.
Millington taking on Birch Run, as I don't have my stats up. I'm sure you have the scores and whatnot.
I got the score. Millington ends up winning that game 54-42. Probably a little bit closer than what Coach Coleman would have liked. Although defensively, their goal last night was to hold Birch Run to 10 points a quarter, and with the 42 points, it was just about that as well. So defensively, they did a good job. Offensively, they probably turned the ball over a little bit too much. I think they had 12 turnovers in the first half, and it was a little bit too much for them. But incredible start for Millington anyways. Birch Run came out in a sagging 2-3 type defense, and Ethan Brady brought the ball up with four straight times at the top of the key, and no one from Birch Run came out and started him. And he hit 4 straight three-pointers. Millington goes up 12-2, and then the next time down the floor, Birch Run switched over to a man-to-man, and Ethan Brady and Zach York worked a pick and roll, and Zach York sitting over on the left wing wide open, gets a pass from Brady and drops a three-pointer as well. So Millington dropped 5 three-pointers right away in the first quarter.
Wow.
But Birch Run kept chipping away, and at one point in the third quarter, it cut it down to about 2 points, and Millington then finally pulled away though at the end of the game. I think Ethan Brady ended with 21 points.
Yep.
And Zach York, 15 points, 9 boards, a couple blocks, and 3 or 4 assists as well.
They have them for 12 boards in there.
12 boards? Okay.
They have 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks. Ethan Brady with 6 rebounds. So
double from him. And
going back to last week,
yes,
26 points, career high, right?
Career high,
right?
Yes.
So a big night, or big week, I should say, since we weren't on the air last week. Factor that into the possibility for Food Nasty.
Playing very good basketball.
Yeah, that's exactly what you need to happen, too. Those two, obviously, the faces of Millington basketball, and they've been playing out of their mind lately. So always fun to let's go back to that Frankenmuth game. What happened in that? I guess Frankenmuth probably was the favorite going into that game. And
Frankenmuth was the favorite going into that game, and at least I would have considered them the favorite.
Yeah.
And Frankenmuth did not shoot well at all.
I mean, kudos to the Millington Cardinals, but
Millington played well, and they couldn't do anything. Ethan Brady scored 14 points, I think, in the first quarter against them. Frankenmuth sort of put them their troubles into Ethan Brady, and then Zach Dark went off.
Yeah.
Zach scored, I think, 26 in that game. Ethan Brady had 20-something. But the big thing was, in that game, Millington always in those big games missing those 8 to 10 points. Well, Braden Henderson scored, I think, 11 in that game, and that was the huge deciding factor there. And Millington just, it was a close game first half. I think tied at the half. And Millington pulled away in the second half, and it was a huge win for Millington because they had suffered 3-4 losses in a row at that point.
Yeah.
So a huge win for them last Friday against Frankenmuth.
Yeah, nice to bounce back and get that win. That is for sure. Big win.
Especially against a team you hadn't beaten in 3 years.
Yeah, that helps out. And then Frankenmuth, and then they turned it up last night as they almost knocked out Bridgeport 54-51. So
Bridgeport's actually struggling twice. Last Friday they played Freeland.
Yeah.
And barely got by Freeland, and then Frankenmuth last night just playing a whale of a game. Not quite sure what happened in that Bridgeport game, and I know Coach Coleman was going to ask Coach Donovan for film, so we could take a look at it because the Millington Cardinals do play Bridgeport this Tuesday, and try to see what they did to slow down Bridgeport, and I kind of think maybe they had some people not play. There's this one player from Bridgeport. I think the last name is Gonzalez. Really, really good three-point shooter. It opens the floor for the Bridgeport Bearcat team. He says when he's on, they release Aquarius Ball, Markel Garrett, room to go to the basket really strong. And if he's not playing or not on, Frankenmuth can pack that in, sort of limit Bridgeport going to the hole. Because Ball and Garrett not necessarily the best outside shooters. Their game is taking the ball to the rim, and when they can, they're very, very dangerous.
Yeah, and if you look at it here, story, I don't know if this was Hugh. I'm guessing Saginaw. Yeah, Saginaw. Hugh Gernreiter wrote up that they trailed 27-26 at halftime, and they came back, took over, and Squares Ball led the way with 16. Jalen Hodges 14. Markel Garrett 9. It's not Bridgeport numbers out of Aquarius Ball, especially with just 16. You usually see them up in the 20s, especially in a game like this against Frankenmuth. But give it up to Frankenmuth. And
I'm just getting a text right now from Jeff York, update on that game. He said Frankie Gonzalez missed a bunch of shots yesterday, so that would explain if he's not on, Frankenmuth can pack some things in.
And looking at the stats coming from Frankenmuth, they were led by Tyler Somerville, just 9. That was their leading scorer, just 9 points last night.
Good all-around game for them.
8 Eagles scored between 9 and 3 points. Corey Thompson added 8, along with Thomas Brooks added 8 as well. So, yeah, a very interesting game. Bridgeport was able to outscore Franklin 17-9 in the third, and that's kind of what helped propel them to that win. So, nonetheless, a very scary game there for the Bridgeport Bearcats. And if you're Coach Coleman, you got to be pretty excited about getting that film and seeing what you can do to shut down this Bridgeport squad. As hey, you already upset Frankenmuth this year, might as well go for the gusto and go for the top dog in the Great Tri-Valley East.
Why not? Why not? And it's been a long time since we've beaten Bridgeport as well. So.
Lady Eagles last night survived a scare from the Bridgeport Bearcats, so flip-flop just a little bit right there.
Another sort of surprising game, and although I do have to admit, Bridgeport this year is much, much improved. They have a new coach. They're sort of playing more like these guys are playing, that in-your-face, tough defense. And, if they were on, and they're playing good defense. I can see that happening. But I guess, surprise, surprise, Kellen Kuyat hit a couple big three-pointers late, and that pulled the Lady Eagles away to win that game.
And she also set the school record for most threes in a career, 128.
Just a junior.
Carly
outside
Bernthal's record?
Outside chance at 200 threes for a career.
Wow, yeah. She broke a record that stood for almost 20 years. So Kelly Kuyat going in there and doing work.
I know I added that total last Friday for her.
Oh, yeah?
I think she had 5 against me last Friday.
But she had a team-high 18 points. Brooklyn Carwatt chipped in with 8. And also had 8 steals on the night, so that's a big night for Brooklyn there. Bridgeport's Destiny Manley had a game high. She had 19 points for the Bearcats. So.
Destiny Manley, very, very good ball player for Bridgeport. Very quick, very fast, takes the ball to the hole really nice, and has a nice little floater when she gets into around 8 to 10 feet.
So now they're just sick of the weights here. They're just moving around the stands now.
Well, stands, and now they're going to bring in the
deadlift?
For deadlift.
Okay.
Yes.
I just thought they got crazy. He's like, forget the weights. We're just going to start moving stuff.
Bring everything in for the deadlift.
There you go. So moving some stuff up here. But now, according to this, Franklin is now setting up with a big night against Garber this coming Tuesday. Garber just owning that 1-game lead on the Eagles, top the standings in the Tri-Valley East. So big night for
huge night
in Garber.
Platform 2, you're warming up on deadlift. Platform 2, you're warming up on deadlift.
That should be a fun game to watch.
Yeah, so there you go. Big night coming up for the Frankenmuth Eagles in the Tri-Valley East as they continue to roll right along. And then that was the second matchup. Yeah, it was between Frankenmuth and Bridgeport. So
yes.
Outside of Millington taking care of business, it looks like possibly another Tri-Valley East title for the Bridgeport Bearcats.
I would think so.
I know Millington's going to do their best to disrupt that just a little bit. Do you have anything else in Tri-Valley East that
the Bridgeport Frankenmuth,
All right, and we got BWAC action. I don't have stats on that game.
Richmond defeated Northbank 75-60. I did not see the stats anywhere on that. I didn't check the Lapeer papers. But I buy a subscription right now to Lapeer papers. My free one.
There it is. Let's see if I can get it. So let's see if I have. I've never used it for this computer, so you might be lucky here. Well, yes, I do have it. So, leading the way. Oh, no. Oh, no thanks. Oh, man, apparently I did use it. I did see Garrett Rutledge led the way. Yes, right there. Jared Rutledge, 19 points. I just got to keep refreshing it. Just kidding. Riley Bug had 17. There you go. Haha. Beat the system. Jared Rutledge had 19, and Riley Bug had 17 last night for the North Branch Broncos. And a very interesting up and down season for them as they start things off in the Blue Water Conference. Mm-hmm. I don't know what the standings are, but I know that they're kind of middle of the pack, if I'm not mistaken. I know they're right there with Croslex has been leading the way over on that side of things, as well as Elma Armada.
Yes.
I'm trying to think which one. Bringing up the stats right here. In the standings. Richmond, it does lead the way. Elmont above them as well. Croslex and Yale as North Branch 500, 5 in the conference this season. 10-6 overall, so 5 of the 6 wins are coming from within the conference. Their only other loss outside of the conference this season did come from the St. Clair squad, 72-64. And obviously taking the Tri-County Bank Holiday Tournament against Kingston and Brown City. 2 nice wins for them as well, but the BWAC offering a little bit of contest for them this season for sure.
The one final score, actually, the Bertram girls defeated Millington last night, 59-26.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I didn't have any final stuff from the Bertram girls at all, but Leah Denome launched with 13 points. Annika Seitz scored 4 points and grabbed 5 rebounds, as did Austin Palmer, 4 points, 5 rebounds. Madison Hahn, 2 points, but she grabbed 14 rebounds.
So she is back.
Yes, she is back. Rebounded very well last night. We had the Millington girls had the game. didn't have the game, but had it cut down to 14-11 at one point early in the second quarter, and then from there, Sarah Miller sort of took over, and Millington wasn't necessarily in the game from there, but effort was there and played much better, and looking for two good competitive games this week with Bridgeport and both Carleton as well. So.
Okay. There you go. And it's a doubleheader, right, Carleton?
Carleton game on Friday is a doubleheader.
That's what I thought I had read. Little NCTL action as well last night, and the little bit that I did get, and just an ugly game for the Akron Fairfield boys, as they lost 60-9 against CPS. They were outscored 23-1 in the first quarter. Ouch. Rough is not even the word. Landon Emerson leading the way for CPS last night, 14 points. Peyton Mooney with 11 points. Alan Cooney with 9 points, and Brad Nugent with 8 points for CPS. But on the other side of things, Akron Fairfield returns a favor against the CPS girls. Stacia Kohi, I'm saying that right, 17 points. Bailey Deal had 12 points, 12 boards, so double-double for her, as Akron Fairfield was able to knock out CPS again 34-33.
Got a score in girls basketball, NCTL as well. Audrey Sims knocked off Owendale Gates on 42-23.
I was wondering if they were going to do that game. That's quite the distance.
It definitely is. Dana Morris led the Bulldogs with 12 points and 5 rebounds. While Carly Heldon added 7 rebounds, and Libby Odrachka had 4 steals for the Bulldogs. Owen Gage 1-11, 0-5 on the year.
Is that a
returns to action when they travel to Peck on February 11th. What was that?
Is that an all-grain name? Or is that an Owen Gage
The
name?
Owen Gage game.
Must be a Street or...
Could be. It's a good Polish Eastern European name.
Yeah, that it is. Elsewhere in the NCTL, WLEW's game of the week last night, as they took in the Kinney North Huron Deckerville game. Deckerville losing that one 69-49, big second half, as the Eagles were up into the halftime, but then the Warriors come back in a big way. Leading the way for North Huron was Ty Knoblauch. John Hoodie had 20 points each. Hoodie drained 4 triples. DeAndre Morris led the way with 23 points. He had 5 three-pointers last night, so out of all of the 60-some points you had, 20, 40, 63 of your 69 points from 3 players last night for North Huron, so that's pretty big.
Sure is, and 3-pointers drained the one.
Isaac Kyneth, 19 points, 3 triples. North Huron takes on Caseville and NCTL crossover. Deckerville heads back home to take on Brown City, as Deckerville having a rough season, 3-11 overall, 1-6 in the conference. So in the conference, that more than likely Kingston is going to compete with Flint International, as they got a big week coming up as well. Their game was canceled last night, but they do have, excuse me, they do have a big week coming up. I'm going to bring this up here in their schedule that they have between the two. I know that they have USA coming up all in 1 week. They have the Patriots on Monday. They have International Academy of Flint coming up on Wednesday, and then they have Marlette on Friday. So triple threat for them next week. Some big games coming up for the Kingston Cardinals next week. So we'll definitely keep an eye on those games. I know the USA game is a WLEW game. Hopefully we are going to be taking that, or going to be over there at least watching it. Update on Twitter. Wednesday we are going to be taking in the game. Let's see if they. It's going to be the International Academy. I won't be taking that one in. And Friday, we might be doing that as our game of the week. Might be. I don't want to get anybody excited, but it could be an interesting game between Kingston and Marlette. A couple hot shooters over there in Marlette, and Kingston Cardinals going up against a Class C squad. So we'll definitely take a look at that, and we'll see if that is going to be our game of the week next week.
We got one final real score as well. I'll be over Memphis last night, 56-11. Josie Guzza scored 11 points. Haley Guzza scored 10. And Kelsey Knoblauch, Caitlin Sweeney each with 9 points. Probably 6-6 now and 3-4 in the league, and they will host Harbor Beach on Tuesday. So a big game there for the Bearcats.
Happy birthday as well to Coach Lester.
Oh,
Late birthday, right?
Late birthday. It was earlier
this week.
Earlier this week. Yes.
I forgot to write to him, so happy birthday. Happy birthday, my friend Nick. Too. So this is a better than a Facebook birthday. It's a shout out. It's a happy birthday shout out here. So there you go. Nonetheless, that wraps things up for our games last night. I do believe, and we have nothing else to touch on from the past week as everything was canceled.
And everything else was all last week, even wrestling and everything.
Yeah, everything got kind of shut down. I did get some stuff on wrestling earlier this week. Let me find that from Brown City, as they did have a tournament. I do believe a rescheduled tournament on the 31st at Carroll. Brown City fell to K-Pac 40-30, and then Carroll knocked out Brown City 72-12. I know Carroll has a tournament. They have some kind of meet coming up. So I don't know if it's the
Carroll must be last Saturday. Won their second annual 10-team Steve Lay and Bob Serene Team Challenge. So that must have been last Saturday.
That was last Saturday? Okay.
Yes. So that did happen technically this past week.
Okay.
8 of the 12 Carroll wrestlers went on to compete. They went 5-0. The Tigers beat Corona 54-30 in the finals. So big win there for Carroll.
Then it is. Carroll keeping right on track on the wrestling side of things. We know that they definitely excel in there. And I know that coming up sometime,
DJ Daniels is approaching his 200th career win. He's currently 195 and he's 36-0 this season.
I'm interested to see if because they had that tournament on the 31st at Carroll, so I wonder if he picked up, I'm going to guess picked up a couple wins there possibly.
Probably so, yes.
So he's probably inching even so much closer to that 200th win, so shout out to DJ Daniels.
Yeah, that's, you see all these pictures of people getting their 100th win and making things up for it. 200th win, that's major. That's something special.
Yeah, it's pretty special, that's for sure. So shout out to him on that, as kind of bring up our track wrestling side here to see if I can get any kind of idea of how it went the other night, the other day against. We have a couple minutes to kill before 11 o'clock hour. This up here. And it's taking forever, so I'll be able to get that going. But nonetheless, if you're around the area, again, stopping out to Millington, plenty of weightlifting still going on. They're starting the deadlifts on the girls, and then the boys start their action up here, right?
Yes, the girls are getting ready to deadlift. Looks like all 4 platforms are set up. Platform 1 and 2 are now active deadlifts, and 3 and 4 are still warming up and getting ready to go. And I think the boys get rolling somewhere around 11:30 or so.
And coming in the next 10 minutes, Luke is actually going to go out there and deadlift. He's going to show everybody up. So.
Oh, and actually congratulations while we're at to Taylor Finley for Reese Point Guard for committing to Elm College.
And Elmo this year. So with that being said, we're going to jump on in as we have your athletes of the week, your Professor Graphics, Great Nasty athletes of the week. Bring this up and go on over to that. Oh.
Player of the week. She's super freaky.
We're going to go back a week ago, as we did not have a show last week. We're going to make up for that, as we're going to include his stats from last week. As it is going to be Mr. Zach York picking up our athlete of the week this week. 15 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 blocks in the win over Birch Run. Should have brought a shirt. Is he here?
Oh,
he is here. Yeah, I just saw him.
It actually almost averaged a triple-double last week in the 2 games that they played. So playing some very good basketball these last 3 games with Zach York.
Career high 26 points in that win against Frankenmuth. And then your female athlete of the week is Christian. It's
Kellen Kuya from Frankenmuth. Congratulations for breaking the Frankenmuth all-time 3-point record. Is just a junior. As I said, with 7-8 games left this year plus playoffs and all 20 some odd next year that should play, there's an outside shot of getting 200 3-pointers for her career, which is just amazing.
It is.
She can shoot. she can shoot. She can shoot. She's not afraid to shoot as well. So.
That is for sure. So if you get a chance to get out there and check her out, as she just keeps racking up those 3-pointers on through her junior season, on into the senior season. And real quick, thank you to James Goka of Reese letting us know the Lady Rockets do play today. If you want to get out and see some basketball, they take on Carson City Crystal at Reese. JV starts up at 1, varsity ball.
Should be an incredible game. Carson City Crystal got a good program. And we all know Reese ranked number 3 in the state, I believe. Right now in Class C, Division 3, they and I've said it from the beginning of the year. I really think they have the makings to make a nice deep run.
Reese?
Yes.
I think so too. They are a fun team to watch. If you have not seen them yet, definitely get out to see them. You will not
number 4, I'm sorry, Division 3.
Reese's?
Yes.
Did Sandusky fall finally? And they fell to 10, huh?
Sandusky's number 10, Division 3.
Name still helping them out. I think nothing against Sandusky Redskins. I'm a Redskin, but I think that name definitely helping them out in the standings because some of those teams that are.
Well, they are 10-2 as well, so that does help.
It does. Some of those other teams, though, down a little bit further in the honorable mention, I think, are pretty good as well.
Well, so. You got Ypsi Arbor Prep there still too.
Yeah.
Even though they're 9-4, their 4 losses come against Division 1, Division 2 squads.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty tough to count them out.
So, but a very, very tough top 10 in Division 3. PL Westphalia ranked number 2 right now. Tough squad. Michigan Center, I don't know much about them, but they have all 5 first place votes. Kent City having a really nice year. You got Reese now, Brandywine, Hemlock having an incredible year, ranked number 6 right now. Flint Hamity having a great year.
Yes.
Adrian Madison, I don't know much about them. Muskegon Western having an incredible year as well, and then Sandusky.
Yep.
And then after that, you have Gables, Maple City, Glen Lake, great year. Arbor Prep we just talked about. Michigan and Westwood, don't know anything about them. Fulton Lake having an outstanding year, 12-0. Oscoda, 10-0, having a great year. And then Centerville, 10-0 as well. So just Division 3 girls basketball is loaded.
And you look at Division 4 there, Kingston coming in at 4th.
Yes.
Overall.
They're 4th overall as well. After Adrian Lenawee Christian, 12-1. St. Ignace, always tough.
Yes.
I think with the change as well, they've moved from a Class C school to a Division 4 school now, which will help them in the tournament. And it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me if you saw them in the state finals. If things are split up and they're on different sides of the ball.
We will see. Plenty of basketball still on the way, and we got plenty of rock still on the way. No Michigan basketball today. They lost yesterday at Iowa.
Thank goodness after the way they played yesterday.
That's for sure. Sad day. But yeah, and people are jumping out the ship. I mean, as soon as Michigan loses, this reminds me of the football team. So much hype. It's like
it's 2 losses.
I know it's 2 losses.
They're still going to be a top 10 team in the nation.
How many losses has Duke got?
Duke has 2 as well.
Exactly. Michigan State has 2.
Exactly. So definitely going to be a top 10 team still. Probably pushing for a number 1 seed in the tournament, depending on how they do in the Big Ten tournament.
You want them to have number 1 seed though?
I'd rather them have a number 4.
That's true.
Yeah. So yeah, I'll take a number 1 and number 2 over 3 or 4. If not, then I want to go down to 7 or 8. They wouldn't be a 7 or 8.
No.
But definitely, I think they're deserved for number 1 or 2 seed.
How about the Big Ten though? I mean, there's a chance that they might have 7 or 8 teams.
7 or 8 teams. And I think Michigan State's deserved the number 1 or 2 seed.
Yeah, it's going to be. It just shows you how tough the Big Ten is.
Yes.
So, I mean, Michigan fans, calm down. I'm on a group on Facebook, and they're just like, somebody wrote this, and I'm waiting for the Fire Coach D-line message or the comments to start. It's like,
you're 19-2 or whatever they're saying, 17-18-2 or whatever it is. It used to be times where you think, okay, we get to 20 wins, that's going to be. Well, Michigan's won 20 games before and not gotten into the tournament.
Yeah.
Right now they're sitting 17, 18 wins. They're going to get 20 wins here before February. Before halfway through February.
I know. It's one of those things. It's what have you done for me lately? Style of play and style of thinking as well. But I mean, you used to be excited to get to the NIT.
Yes.
Now we don't get the tournament in Michigan. It's about it. But yeah, so calm down, Michigan fans.
The game on Sunday, who you got?
Oh yeah, I was going to ask you about that. What's on your menu this year?
I found out that Western Massachusetts.
Okay.
Because I have the ALCS to cook for.
Okay.
So I have the Patriots again, which, as you know, this is their 9th Super Bowl in the past 15 years, and it's getting hard to find food from the New England area. We've done crab cakes, we've done lobster, we've done lobster bisque, we've done mac and cheese with lobster. We've done some Boston steamer burgers. You name it, we've done it for the Boston area. Well, I started expanding my search this year for New England area, Massachusetts area, instead of just Boston. I found out that Western Massachusetts is a huge Eastern European influence.
Okay.
So, and their favorite foods in Western Massachusetts are pierogies and Polish sausage. So, in that sense, I have a little Polish in me as well. I'm making up pierogies tonight and buying some Polish sausage.
There you go.
So, I am doing that. I have not heard what my brother is doing yet for the NFC squad. So, I'll find out tomorrow.
I'd hate to have LA because
there's really not much to do outside of Chinese food.
So you get like an burger,
some sort of Asian influence.
Yeah.
It's got to be because you think LA food, that's kind of what you think outside of tofu or something like that. And if he brings tofu to a Super Bowl party, I'll kill it. It's just not going to work.
Yeah, I mean, LA is definitely a difficult one. I'm sure you'd rather have we get a couple more selections if you had New Orleans in there, but
yes. New Orleans would have been great because we would have done that.
I love the Pats. I love Tom Brady, but man, I was hoping Kansas City and a little bit of barbecue.
I was in Kansas City yesterday, the AFC team. I was going to go smoke a brisket.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, which would have been nice.
Lunchtime, folks. So, yeah, I can't go against Brady.
You got to keep it going. You really have to.
I love me some Brady, and I was rooting for him or Patrick Mahomes to make it, and I like both of them. Mahomes, I fell in love with him throughout the season, and the Kansas City Chiefs, and I said, whoever wins this, I'm going to be rooting for him, and I just can't like that. Ndamukong Suh, I can't root for him to win a title. Although I do have an autographed picture of him, so maybe if he wins a ring, it'll boost up it.
It's just hard to go against Brady at this point because they're upset. Because no one thinks they're any good.
I know.
That's what's scary, you know. And when just like in that championship game, AFC championship game, he threw for 342, 343, and he threw one touchdown.
Yeah,
that's dangerous.
It's the thing is they always think it's just Brady, but the run game was beautiful.
Whatever mediocre type player they bring in, they're dominant with it. So.
Rex Burkhead goes any other team. Is he running for multiple touchdowns in the AFC Championship game?
Look what happened with that last white wide receiver that they had who went to Denver. He had one nice year.
Oh yeah.
Wes Welker. One nice year and he was done. So it's the Brady effect. And whatever Brady does, give it to Belichick as well.
So hate on us all you want.
Yes.
Hate on them all you want. But,
I'm a Brady lover.
I am going to.
Speaking of Brady, did you happen to see that meme on Facebook that's going on? The video on Facebook going on around where it was a Brady being Thanos.
Yes. I saw you post it yesterday. Yeah.
That was funny.
Pretty good. Pretty good. Yeah, that was good stuff.
Yeah, I forget whatever Pittsburgh Steeler it was. He goes, in my experience, it's a bad thing if you give him the ball back.
Yeah.
So if you can get on Facebook and watch that, it's a whole Avengers parody with AFC, NFC teams and Tom Brady being Thanos.
Yeah, exactly. That's a very good comparison.
Yes.
All right, that is it for us. Again, if you're in the Millington area, still plenty of time to get out here. This weightlifting competition, how much is it to get in? $5?
$5.
All right, so there you go. It's $5 to get into a basketball game too now?
Yeah, no.
I didn't know that. It was $4 last time I had to pay.
I haven't paid in so long.
I know, that's just it. We went in yesterday and Chris brought his kid and he's like, I'll pay for him. And she's like, $5? I'm like, what? Yeah. I haven't paid in a long time, so I don't know what it is anymore. So
I don't know if I paid for a sporting event. All I've been doing is 12 years now.
Yeah. Let's pass this come in handy. That's
Yes,
for sure.
they do.
So, all right, we are out of here. We're going to be back with you next Saturday again. Let's talk sports. We might have some guests in studio. I don't know for sure yet. We got some people that want to come in, so we'll try to get them into the studio and all that good stuff. Thank you to Luke. Thank you, Christian. Thank you to the Millington Schools once again for welcoming us in here in a nice, cozy little carved out section here. It's usually Brian's section.
Brian Glader's, it's the rock band.
So what'd you guys do with him?
He's at work right now.
Oh, okay.
He works at Bob Evans over at Millington.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. I thought maybe you guys said you got to sit somewhere else to take it.
No, this is the rock band. He big rock fan, wrestling. Dwayne
really?
Johnson, big Dwayne Johnson fan. So he calls himself the Rock, and this is the Rock's den.
The Rock's den.
Yes.
That's awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys, and again, congratulations to Kelly and Kuya, Zach York, you are athletes of the week. Brought to you by Majestic Graphics. We're going to jump in a little Ozzy Osbourne coming at you right now, jumping on that crazy train. Let's go, Pats.
Peace out.
Get that 6th ring. Silence the haters. Talk to you guys next week right here. It is Let's Talk Sports, brought to you by Air Classic Rock 5 2.